Well, hey guys, this is yet another video about AI. It's the third one and I'm probably going to be done with it for a while after that, but is there any way for AI to help us with our modelers? There was a recent thread on the Fractal forum that brought AI into the conversation again. Let's take a look. One of the Fractal forum members posted this thread recently. Get instant answers without reading the AXFX manual. Now, do you see that as clickbait? I can understand why some might see it that way, but I didn't. I was curious. I'm constantly using the manuals to find out things I didn't know or to refresh my memory. I'll even quote parts of the manual in my videos to help in some explanations. So yes, I do see the manuals as being essential if you want to really understand your fractal modeler. I know that there are some guys who only need the most basic functions and they are good to go. Or they may be lucky and have a tech who handles the gear. Otherwise, if you want to get the most out of your modeler, it really is essential to get friendly with the manual. But we have other tools as well, right? We have Facebook groups where users can ask questions, same with the Fractal forum. Then we have the content creators who clue you in onto new functions, etc. So we don't rely solely on the manual. We get our information from multiple sources, which leads me back to being curious about how I could get instant answers without reading the AXFX manual. The thread starter posted this a few Mondays ago. New users with questions are sometimes told to RTFM, and we all know what that means. While the manual is obviously an excellent resource, it's also fairly large and can be overwhelming for a lot of users with questions. In my opinion, that's where the site askyourpdf.com comes in. It's a free tool that lets anyone upload a PDF and ask questions about it using natural language. In a nutshell, the site analyzes and extracts the core contents of a PDF and uses a conversational interface, much like ChatGPT, to allow users to ask questions and get answers fast. In fact, it is powered by ChatGPT, so in essence, you can upload a PDF, for instance the AXFX3 manual, and ask for specific information in the manual without having to dig through it. In my opinion, it's ideal when you need a quick answer to a simple and specific question that's covered in the manual. It's basically like being able to question someone who's already read the manual. I've taken the liberty of uploading the AXFX3 manual to their site. Simply click this link to start asking questions, and I will post that link. Are the answers always 100% accurate? No, but in my experience, they're often on point, and I can see how this would definitely be useful for new users. And like I said, I will post the link that was mentioned. Now, I would have thought that this would have been welcomed with open arms in the Fractal forum, but no, sir. There are lots of mixed feelings about it. Of course, there are guys making snarky jokes about it, but that's to be expected in any public forum. But the number of folks in the "this will never work" crowd is pretty astounding. I thought that modeler owners had already gotten over that hump when they bought a modeler. But apparently that's not the case. They can be just as much stick in the muds as the tubes rule crowd. One guy even said, and I am not making this up, I may be old school, but I really prefer to spend hours to know what I'm doing instead of asking a question to a computer. Dude, that's not old school, that's Luddite. We're supposed to learn how to work smarter, not harder. Fortunately, there are those who are willing to give it a try. Even I know that it's not going to work perfectly right from the start, but I think that we should at least give it a try. So, let's give it a try. I've got a few questions to ask it. Let's see what happens. All right, let's go to the Ask Your PDF website. Okay, my first question. Can I use the multiplexer block to switch between the wah block and the Volpan block? No, the multiplexer block is an input selector that routes one of many inputs to an output. It cannot be used to switch between effect blocks like the wah and Volpan block. You would need to use a different type of block, such as a scene MIDI block or a foot switch, to switch between these effect blocks. Well, I really didn't ask the question correctly, so there is that. Alright, question number 2. How do control switches work? Control switches on an external Fractal Audio FC6 or FC12 controller can be used to transmit custom MIDI data every time the switch is turned on or off. Each control switch has its own global MIDI payload containing up to 4 program change or control change messages on any MIDI channels. with custom values from 0 to 127 or disabled for both the on and off states of the switch. Control switches can be momentary or latching and even mutually exclusive, making the CS MIDI system very versatile. The primary function of a control switch is to operate as a modifier source to control sound parameters. Beyond this, however, each of the 6 control switches has the capability to transmit a custom payload of MIDI data every time the switch is turned on or off. Okay, I'll take that. Alright, next question. How do modifiers work? Modifiers on the FM3 allow sound parameters to be remote controlled or automated in real time. They can be used to control parameters such as wah or whammy using an expression pedal, or to auto-sweep a filter using an LFO, low-frequency oscillator. MIDI can also be used to adjust effects, control volume, and more. Modifiers are created by selecting a parameter that supports a modifier, pressing the Enter button or the modifier push knob to show the modifier menu, selecting the desired option on the Source 1 page such as External 1 or LFO 1, and then selecting the modifier page to set the parameters related to the interaction between the source and the parameter. Modifiers can be edited or removed by changing their sources to none. So it does look like all the answers basically refer to the front panel. There's nothing about Axe Edit in here. Alright, next question. How do you set up an expression pedal? To set up an expression pedal with the Axe FX3, you should follow these steps. 1. Connect your expression pedal to the desired jack with a TRS cable. 2. Navigate to the pedal page of the I/O menu under Setup. 3. Ensure that the pedal type is set to continuous. 4. Navigate to the Calibrate pedal function and press the Enter button. 5. Follow the on-screen instructions to perform calibration. After calibration, you can assign the expression pedal to control various parameters in your preset. To do this, you can use the modifier function, which allows you to assign a source, such as your expression pedal, to a parameter in your preset. For example, you can assign your expression pedal to control the wah parameter in a wah block. Alright, next question. How do I import a preset? The context provided does not include information on how to import a preset. However, you can download presets from the Fractal Audio website and install them using FractalBot or Axe Edit. You can also transfer presets using MIDI. For more information on importing presets, you may refer to the Axe FX3 manual or contact Fractal Audio support. Now, that was a little bit of a trick question because I wanted to see if it would refer to Axe Edit, but the answer that it gave was actually correct. Okay, one final question. How do you use scene controllers? To use a scene controller, you need to assign it as a modifier source to the parameter of your choice. Then set the values for your scene controller. Here are the steps to set up a scene controller to adjust the gain/input drive of an amp block. 1. Load a preset with an amp and cab block with 4 identical scenes. 2. Enter the layout grid of the preset, navigate to the amp block and press Edit. 3. Use the page buttons to locate the tone page of the amp block. 4. Nav to the drive parameter and notice the open yellow modifier ring beneath the knob. 5. With the drive parameter highlighted in blue, press Enter to display the modifier menu. 6. On the Source 1 page, select Scene Controller 1. 7. Press Exit to return to the amp menu. Notice that the open yellow modifier symbol is now a solid yellow dot. 8. Press Home to show the home page. 9. Press the Controllers button. Push knob C. 10. Use the Page button to locate the Scene Control page of the Controllers menu. 11. The Controller 1 column lists 8 different values, 1 per scene. These will set the value for our target parameter in each of the 8 scenes. 12. Dial the Scene Controller 1 value for Scene 1. Let's set it to about 20% for a cleanish breakup type of sound. 13. Change to Scene 2. Double tap Home to go to the grid, then turn knob A to change the scene. Push knob D, Controllers, to return to the Scene Controllers editor. Number 14. Nav down to select the Scene 2 row in the Controller 1 column. Turn Value to set the value for Scene 2. Let's set it to about 45% for a nice crunch. Number 15. Using the process in the previous steps, set the value for Scene 3 to 75% and Scene 4 to 100%, or as desired. 16. Press Home to return to the home page. Test your first 4 scenes using the nav up-down buttons. 17. press Store, Enter, Enter to save your work. If desired, enter scene names as outlined in Saving Changes on page 41 of the manual. 18. Feel free to assign other scene controllers to other parameters in your preset as desired. Well, it really did get the correctly asked questions right. All in all, I would have to say that this was really cool. So, we just found out that it's not perfect yet, but this is the first time at trying something like this. There are some other AI PDF sites that also reference the page number, so you can take a look at the manual for more clarification. I think this has great potential to be another tool that we can use, so we can spend more time playing and less time reading. And next Wednesday, we'll be looking at another new preset of the week. You don't want to miss that, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. All right, guys, have a great weekend, and I will be talking with you again next week.